it's interesting reflecting back on it now, because I didn't know then, but I've always wanted to be a dentist. Since I was 6 years old, according to my mom, I was saying it, and I can remember specifically at the age of 8, wanted to be a dentist. I'll tell you that story in a minute. But what I've discovered about my personality as an adult that I think drove that passion was my desire or appreciation for the intricate. In other words, something that's got more moving pieces seems to draw my attention. I don't know why. In the 5th grade, for example, I played the piano already since I was 5, but in the 5th grade they allowed us to pick up an extra instrument if we wanted. So they paraded out a bunch of the 8th grade band members, each playing, a trumpet, a tuba, whatever. And when the saxophone came out, I thought that looks more detailed, more intricate, or more involved than anything else up there. And so I took up the saxophone. When it came time for hobbies, I build and fly those 6-foot wingspan model airplanes. That's intricate. When I went to my dentist as a kid, I was fascinated by all those little intricate tools around his chair and whatnot. And yeah, I had some cavities, but I watched. The funny thing was he had a mirror. It was a face mirror like many people have, but it was a 3-foot handle. So I could hold it down low and still see over his head basically what he was doing. And I was fascinated by the intricacies of what was going on. I didn't really think about that with my personality until we started doing personality tests, a few years ago with The Office and all that. And I really discovered that I'm drawn to the complex or the intricate. And that continues in my professional life today. I don't just do fillings and crowns. I'm all about everything from fillings and crowns and working on kids or whatever to gum grafts and sinus lifts and implantology and all sorts of prosthetic designs to go on the implants. And I crave that knowledge. I soak up that information. And again, the more intricate, the better. It just seems to connect with my brain. I'll tell you a funny story, though, about me. You asked why I want to be a dentist. So again, I'm still not positive, but I think that had a lot to do with it. But I remember in the 3rd grade, this is a story I've told a lot of people in person, but I've never put it on film, so I'll be curious to hear if there's anybody out there that remembers me from here. When I was in 3rd grade, I went to a little Catholic school in Ilion, New York, called Annunciation School, Annunciation Church. And in the 3rd grade, we had to draw a picture of what we wanted to be when we grew up. And I remember very vividly working on the drawing of a dentist for about 55 minutes of the 1-hour art class. That sticks in my head of how to draw a dentist. That's not easy. Okay, I'm drawn to the intricate. It doesn't mean at 8 years old I was very good at the intricate necessarily. But I remember clearly working on a dentist. Now, you have to understand, even in the 3rd grade, I was kind of an A student and I wasn't about to get a B in something. But what was in front of me was a B project. So I crumpled it up with 5 minutes to go, put that in the waste bin. I got out a fresh piece of paper and I drew a line, top to bottom again, drew a face on it and put the symbol for a priest and handed that in. I got an A. It worked beautifully. So that night, my mom gets a call at home, Mom and Dad, and it was Sister Gladys. So excited. Oh, we're so delighted. Timmy has the calling. He's going to be a dentist. Don't you worry. We'll foster that in him. It's going to be wonderful. My mom hangs up the phone. She says, Timmy, I thought you wanted to be a dentist. I said, I do. She says, why'd you draw a priest? I said, because I wanted an A and I couldn't draw a dentist. So we chuckled about it. And that was that. Luckily for me, about 3 months later, we moved to Syracuse, New York. And I never had to be a priest. But I'm pretty confident that if we'd stayed in that school, I might have ended up being pushed into a direction that I didn't choose at the end of the day. Anyway, it's a funny story, and it's why I remember, even at 8 years old, wanting to be a dentist.